Hello, and welcome to Confidently Wrong, a show by regular dudes talking with confidence about content we have no right to speak about with any kind of authority, but do it anyway. I'm Wesley Nakamura, and as always, I'm joined by Mike Smith, award-winning director Brian Redondo, and Savon Jones, aka Captain Vonnie. This is episode 58, and we have a PS5 Games mega episode coming your way. A Games Megasode. I'm confident that it's going to be the best show you've ever listened to, and well, hey, if it's not, you can always ask us for a review.
Incredible!
Hello, gentlemen. This is going to be an episode that I'm going to enjoy thoroughly. We're going to get to talk about some games.
Video games.
It's our Mega Blast. Mostly PS5 games, actually. So
Not
there's
for
been a whole bunch
Savon.
of things. We're going to do a whole bunch of things. Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, Cyberpunk, Sifu, maybe some other random tidbits thrown in. We'll see how we do. Let's start with Gran Turismo 7. A couple weeks ago, Sony released about a 30-minute or so video called The State of Play, in which we really got to see some extended footage of how Gran Turismo 7 is going to drive, how it's going to look, how the menu system is going to work. The driver's license tests are back. What I want to know from you guys is there a market for this game at this point in time? Mike.
I feel like we just need to point out that, like, most of us, I know Savon doesn't care about racing at all. Do you at all, Brian? Have you ever been interested in racing games?
Not
All right.
any type of racing ever.
Okay. So I'm like in the middle here, right? Like, I never cared about racing games. I never cared about actual racing. I've talked about it before. I'm a very big Formula One fan now. So now
Drive
I
to
am
Survive.
interested.
I played
Gran
You're
Turismo
converted.
As a kid.
You play Gran Turismo?
You played what?
I played Gran
Turismo?
Turismo as a kid.
Yeah, but it's not
That was
like
like a growing up game.
you're not gonna go
I
out
played
and buy
Mario
Gran Turismo
Kart.
7.
Mario Kart count?
Mario Kart does not count.
That's
So
racing.
what was your question, Wes? Is there a market for
Is
it?
there a market for this?
Yes, it's the 7th game.
Okay, but how big is this market? And it's
Big.
The
It's
seventh
they've
game.
made.
big.
No, I mean, like, it's not just like they're not like churning them out like Assassin's Creed or Far Cry games,
No.
Savon. They are. They've made 7 of them. Like
So?
its whole thing is it's high quality. Like, and it's very clear. Like, I don't even know too much about this what's the word I'm looking for? Franchise.
Mhm.
But it's the whole thing they're talking about is that they've kept up the quality of the graphics, of the gameplay, and they've built on it. I feel like there is very much a market. I mean, and Savon made the point that, like, Forza and this are the 2 franchises on the respective consoles. And we haven't gotten one of these in a while. So I think it's going to do very well. I think it's going to get a lot of, like, critical acclaim. Even it's going to be like one of those things where most people probably won't play it, but I think it's going to get far more attention than games that get similar audiences.
I think
Yeah,
that's what I'm
dudes
saying,
love
though.
cars.
Dudes
So,
do love cars.
There, of course, there's a market for this, and especially internationally, racing is incredibly popular. It just might not be the most popular thing in the United States, but I do
For
think,
sure.
just like FIFA, there is a massive audience for a game like this. And, you know, the only time I've played Gran Turismo is in Wesley's college dorm room. And, you know, I was bored out of my mind. But I recall, Wes, that you were ecstatic about whatever GT that was, maybe 2. And so, like, you of all people, why are you asking if there's a market for this? Aren't you the market?
Yes, I'm the market, but
It's also funny
nobody
talking
else.
about.
Nobody else is interested in
All
it.
right, hold on. Can I take a
Savannah's
swing at
made
this?
a lot of. Let me say one thing, and then Savannah's just made a lot of good points about we ascribe international products exclusively to an American
Sure.
audience and then judge it in that way.
Yeah.
This is not an American game. It was made by a Japanese studio, so it's obviously going to have a big foothold there as well. So I just feel like it is important. Brian made the point just now, Savannah's made it a lot of times, of considering these games outside of kind of an American perspective.
Just because it's made in
So-
Japan doesn't mean there's going to be a big Japan foothold.
So
like
hold on.
a bunch of games are made in
Typically
Montreal
in
that
games,
come to America.
But this is kind of like
that's
a flagship
different.
type
Oh
of
my
game, though.
god. Yeah, come.
It's
Go
the
ahead.
same way
Saying.
like Street Fighter is more popular in Japan than it is in the States, and the States love Street Fighter. Like, there are a lot of games that are flagship in Japan. Same with Pokemon. Like, there's Like we like Pokemon here in Japan. Like, come on, bro, it's next level. Yeah. All right. So Wes, this is the thing. When it comes to gaming and audiences, like I said, there's always like very, very niche markets for certain types of games. And a lot of those games aren't going to be the most popular, but the audience is steady and loyal and will always buy them. We were talking earlier about how, before we started the show, how I grew up playing fighting games growing up. Fighting games have a very niche market. Most people I know aren't into fighting games. The only other people I know who are into them are my friends who I got into it. I got them into it by playing them with me. But the people who do play them are incredibly loyal. And there's a reason why Capcom has still been making Street Fighter games when the first Street Fighter game came out over 25, almost 30 years ago. But Street Fighter also isn't the most popular selling game going off the shelves either. But the people who like it will always consistently buy it. It's same with the NBA 2K and sports games. It's same with like a lot of those farming games. It's same with The Sims. People who like those games, there are gamers who will buy one type of game and that's the only thing they will play. There are people who will buy Gran Turismo and not play another game for the entire time they have their console. Some people
These
are
people
really
you're
gearheads.
talking about are you.
I mean, I play a bunch of stuff, but I'm saying like there's gearheads,
Yeah.
Wes. Like there's like my uncle used to be into Gran Turismo on like the PS1, I think, or even his PS2.
Oh my god.
This man had like a PT Cruiser in his garage, and but he was just so into cars, and he had the oil transmission stuff.
Jesus,
and
but blowing him up on record here.
No, I'm saying it's cool though. But my smooth brain, child brain, just wanted to get into a race car and drive straight. He wanted to do long, complex drives with like compact cars that are like civilian stuff that regular people wouldn't want. Point is, Wes, there's an audience for that. Is it going to fly off the shelves? No, but those people are going to be loyal and buy that game. And
yeah, no, I don't not understand that. That's exactly how I played the game when I did play the game. So I played GT3 and GT4, and I spent hours and hours and hours and hours in it. And I think what I'm asking is like these games cost so much money to develop. So like Street Fighter, right? You don't have that many assets. You have the characters, you have the moves that they got to do, you got like the background, right? In GT,
I thought you said moose.
The moves.
Like, there's a moose.
Maybe the
That's
moose.
the next Street Fighter.
Yeah, is there a fighting moose? But in Gran Turismo, they've got to get like the ray tracing right now. They've got to get the cars modeled correctly. They've got to get the tracks modeled correctly. They've got to get the like spectators modeled correctly. And like these are massive files because they're going for miles around a track, right? There's a lot of like just investment that they're making. Polyphony Digital and Sony are making in this game. And it's not my job to count their money. Like I'm sure they think they can make money off of it or whatever.
Not?
Yeah, but I think whenever I see the reason I didn't get 5, 6 in sport or whatever they have had since then is that the game isn't good as like it's not good as a non-single player. So like if I'm the person who played like Brian said, like I played a lot in college, but I got good enough that like I couldn't play with any of my friends. I couldn't invite them over and be like, let's play Gran Turismo, because as soon as they made a mistake, they lost. And
that was me.
Right? You couldn't. It's not like Mario Kart where like there's a rubber band effect, right? Where the last place person gets a little bit faster. It's a sim, and so once you make a mistake, you lose.
Well, I think it's obviously not like a party racer. It's not Mario Kart, but I think there's 2 things I'll say that I think are going to go for this game outside of the kind of ceiling, I'll say, of like how high and how intense you can get with it as a sim and if you really know cars. The first thing I'll say is that in that one video they made, they talked about like this is going to be like an easier one to get into. So like lower floor in terms of like what it takes to kind of get into it, understand it, get invested, but high ceiling in terms of how far you can go with it. So I think if they really leverage that, I think it'll do way more successfully than if they like were just like, this is like a sim racer, which people don't need. They have iRacing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a sim. You're right. I mean, there's aids and everything like that, but it's to the point where like if someone even puts in a moderate amount of time and is not an expert, like you can't beat them.
No, yeah, but like maybe it's like, oh, this looked really fun, I want to get into it. The game will help you get to that point a lot more easily because there is a lower entry point. Well, that's what they've said is part of their kind of attitude towards this game. So I think that'll do it well. I think Knock connected another thing that's going to do well forward is I feel like this generation more so than past ones, like everyone's obsessed with like console power, and like the graphics they can put out. And I think Gran Turismo has always very much been about that life of like crazy photorealistic graphics. Like they're going to be able to use the PS5 hardware better than anybody else. And I think honestly, a lot of people will buy it just for that. Maybe not
Yeah.
at full price, but I do think a lot of people would be like, "Oh, this just looks so cool." I don't even. If I put it on easy mode, it's still just really cool to kind of have like a photorealistic racer.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, even in addition to all the car loyalists and the race enthusiasts, I think there is a class of people that are thirsting to see PS5 be utilized in all of its glory and just throw it up on their 65-inch like 4K like souped up TV and whatever, and just like let it run and see just like how incredible the hardware matches the software.
I think those
and
people are going to get the
GT7 has
game we're
always
going to
been
talk
like
about
that.
next. I think those people, the people that want the hardware stuff, they're going to talk. I think they're going to go with Forbidden.
I think
We'll see.
both.
I mean, both. Like, I can see
Yeah,
myself
I
getting
mean,
Gran
there's
Turismo.
hyper realism and then there's realism, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
So-
yeah.
yeah, like I can see myself being someone who plays Gran Turismo with zero interest in PvP racing or even PvE. But if I could just mod cars and drive around, I'd play that. Like,
Yeah,
I
but
already
I
do
don't.
that in Grand Theft Auto. I could do a game dedicated just to that concept, but completely fleshed out. Come on now, like
No, I don't
there's
think.
you're sleeping on how people play races.
I don't
bro.
think
Like,
it's that. Maybe, yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think you would do that. So, well, like I don't. You haven't played in a while, and I haven't either. I guess I haven't played since college. It was 15 years ago. But I feel like based on what you said, like in terms of like you don't want to play Sifu for a specific reason, right? Like this game very much rewards you for like incremental improvements in your racing to progress through the game. But you're just racing computers in the single player mode. You're only racing computers. There is an online mode I'm sure that you can do, but that's just filled with like a bunch of trolls.
Did you
who just
watch
crash
the
into
video
you.
you assigned to us, Wesley?
Yeah. Well, I watched. Yeah, I watched. It was mostly about.
Did
graphics,
you?
though.
Because
Yeah.
part of what they were talking about was also that this game is going to be like a love letter to car culture.
Yeah.
And also like a good way to get into car culture, which I know nothing about. But I mean, maybe that kind of goes with what Savon is saying. Like maybe they are being intentional, not only with the actual racing part of it being more accessible, but as a good entry point to get into cars.
Yeah, I mean, I was intrigued by it. When I saw the video, I was like, "This looks like a cool game."
Mhm.
I think I'm just like, I don't know that there's other people out there who want to play Gran Turismo in the way that they're investing in this. That's all.
I mean, I guess people who are into racing and people who are into cars aren't. That's not always the same thing. And maybe the
Sure.
game will do a good job of pleasing both. Because I'm into cars, not racing. Some people might be into both, but like I'm just thinking of friends I know, even my brother's friends. They love the car parts of GTA. I could totally see them being into Gran Turismo just because they know cars well and they might not care about the technical element of racing, but for them,
Yeah.
just having the whip is good enough.
yeah.
Like, just, oh, look at my shit. Like, I think there's a bigger audience for that than you realize. And I think
It's
you
fun.
are
You
get
part
to
of
And
it.
if
upgrade
it
your car.
drives like those cars actually do,
Yeah.
all
A
the
little
more
bit.
so.
Yeah. The cool part was like you got to earn like upgrades to your car, and just like
Oh, that I'm not interested in at all.
No.
At all.
Well,
Like,
it was cool. I mean, it
changing,
made it like better. It
exhaust
wasn't a
and-
cosmetic. It was like it actually
Yeah,
made it
yeah.
perform better.
You can do that in Forza.
Yeah, and I think that's also is Forza doing this better, right? And they've put out more games, so that's interesting.
Oh, a lot
We'll
more.
see.
But I think lately we've been getting the Forza Horizon series, which is a little bit more arcadey by design. And this, I don't think, is going to try and be arcadey at all. Like, you're not taking your car
Right.
off giant jumps, like
Yeah.
half a mile.
No
not
speed
Need for
zooms.
Speed.
Pew! Yeah, and like the GT or Gran Turismo is definitely more my speed. I don't want to play a game like Forza Horizon.
Yeah,
where
me
you're just like,
neither. Also, is
But-
this game open world?
what?
Gran Turismo?
No, you're on a track all the time.
Okay, yeah.
They confirmed
'cause
that for the new one,
Forza
too?
was open world, and I did not like that part of
Yeah.
it at all.
But Forza Motorsport may not be. I don't know how that one works.
Oh,
that one may
right,
be more
right. That's
track-based.
probably it. All right.
All right, let's
We'll
keep
see.
going.
We should definitely revisit this because I think
All right.
we all kind of are coming at it from a different point of view.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
get it at launch. I think
Really?
this is a wait for me. Only because it's so much time. You have to put so much time into this game to like actually get into it and like.
But I don't think you
get
do.
better at
But
it.
anyway.
I think there are other ways to enjoy a game, Wes.
No, I'm saying that's the whole point they're saying is it's more accessible. It's an easy entry point that you don't have to be like a serious sim racer. Like you can just enjoy cars and progress.
But like to start getting the upgrades, you do have to put in quite a bit of time. I mean, even if the first races are 5 minutes, like you got to do a lot of races in Gran Turismo, and you got to do the driver's license test again. Like you're going to spend some time on it.
Maybe they got loot boxes.
Game,
you
just gotta play a game. You still gotta play the game. Like,
yeah, you have to play a game.
That's not a con
like,
that you have to. Playing the game isn't a barrier.
Breaking news: you have to play a game to get better at it.
No, not just to get better, but to like start enjoying the parts that we're talking about, like having the cars that you want. Like
yes,
you have to earn money in the
game
races,
ever.
Yeah. But
unless you're talking about like Hello Kitty Island Adventure, there is some level of investment that is.
Ooh, is that coming out?
Bad. I'm saying I have limited time right now as both a teacher and a father. It's go time right now for both. And so that takes us to the next game. Which
is that why you ran out? Yeah, is that why you ran out to Best Buy yesterday?
Let's talk about this. So yesterday, and
literally ran. My guy ran.
I hopped in that car. So my Honda Fit. You know, I'm a car guy. Horizon Forbidden West came out yesterday. And it got a lot of buzz. Obviously, it's one of their, title games and everything like that. And some of us have been able to play it a little bit, or I've been able to play it a little bit. But that's what I'm saying is this game is going to be a big, I think, time investment for sure, and I'm going to enjoy it.
For sure.
And Gran Turismo is coming up in a couple weeks, so just I'm saying, like, they got a limited amount of time. I'd rather spend it with Horizon Forbidden West right now. So, anyways, it got generally positive reviews. I think everybody online has talked about how the graphics are just really good. The actors are vastly improved. The characters and their acting is vastly improved. There's expanded combat options. There's expanded mobility now. They've got her with a glider, so she can Link her way around.
Classic
Calamity.
Mistake.
Yeah.
Classic mistake.
And it hopefully maintaining the emotional connection that we had in the first game. Let's go first with Brian. Are you excited for this game?
All right, no, yeah, go ahead, Brian.
I want to go with Brian.
You're gonna start with me?
Yes.
I haven't played it.
But
I don't have a PS5. I want to play.
All right, well then the question is,
for the PS5.
Yeah,
are you
of
excited?
course I'm excited for this game. Who is not excited for this game?
I know someone who is, and
Savon
we'll get into it in a second. No, but
oh my god!
Before we have this whole conversation, do you have a PS4, Brian, or a PS4 Pro?
PS4.
Okay.
I do not have the Pro.
Do you think you're going to wait? Or are you going to play it immediately?
I don't know, man. I
think you should get it.
I thought I would have had a PS5 by now, to be honest with you.
Are you trying?
No.
I'm not actively trying. I just wait for whenever Wes texts me that there's a drop.
Okay.
Oh, I actually missed the drop because I had COVID right before Christmas.
Oh my god!
And it was the perfect opportunity because I live near a GameStop and there was a very short line outside.
Oh, really? You heard you could have gotten one?
I could have gotten one.
But you had COVID, so you can't go.
But I had COVID.
Yeah.
And I
That's
did
not
not
cool.
want to wait in line.
Don't give the
with
game
COVID.
store workers COVID.
No,
That's kind of fucked up.
No, that was kind of like the world or the universe telling me like it's not gonna happen. Just move on. So
Switch OLED.
I've been dying honestly for another incredible, like, this is the title, must play title.
This is the one.
For a while now, and I'm sure this is the one. And so I don't know. I doubt that I'm gonna wait till I get a PS5. I doubt it.
So related to that, I mean, I sent you guys the video clip and I said, watch it if you want or whatever. Digital Foundry did a comparison of PS5, PS4, PS4 Pro, and for sure the graphics are better on the PS5. But like, man, it's good. The PS4.
I think they did like a particularly good job on the last gen as well.
Yeah, the PS4.
And I know we're going to talk about
looks,
Cyberpunk in a couple of minutes.
They put them side by side, and like you could see, it was good. I mean, it's not as good as the PS5, but like I think you're going to experience the same gameplay. I think like you'll still be impressed with like what they did with the environment and everything. So I think if you don't wait and you get the PS4, I don't think you're going to be unhappy with it.
Yeah, and I'm definitely the type of person that doesn't play things just for the graphics.
Yeah.
You know, I play for the design, I play for the gameplay.
No,
you're
the
gonna get all
design
that.
in this game
I'm a
is
Switch
crazy,
person,
dude.
so you know, I feel like
That's
I would
720,
still
right?
really enjoy this.
Yeah.
Graphics are a bonus.
Yeah.
100%.
But they're really
All
good.
right. So you're excited. I'm excited. Mike's excited. Mike, did you buy it and you play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He beat it
we'll talk-
already.
We'll talk.
All right.
60 hours.
We'll
done.
talk. Okay.
Well, let's get into this. Savon,
here's
are you
what
excited?
No. He can't go yet. I need to.
Okay,
I need to
alright.
preface.
You wanna set
I need
it
to
up?
preface this. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
I am very grateful. Like, our viewership has grown. I'm very grateful for everybody who takes the time to listen to our show. Today, I don't give a shit about none of y'all. I am solely interested in convincing Savon to play this game. Because, and we'll talk about it in Sifu, Savon has absolutely been breaking my heart lately. I don't know why I'm so emotionally invested in getting Savon out of playing. And I think I've talked about the rule on this game. Savon plays 4 types of games. Plays Apex Legends. He plays he plays anything made by
TK.
Rockstar. He plays Warframe and 2K. It's just cycling that. And maybe it's because I love video games so much, and I want you. Okay, fine, 5 games. I want you to be able to count on 2 long, spiny fingers, Savon, how many games you can play. And I think it's because I love these games so much, and you love gaming, and I want you to experience these. And I think you're not going about it in the right way. So, in these first impressions, this is solely targeted at getting you to want to play this game. So I'm going to be very biased, and I think I'm going to bring up things I think Savon would enjoy.
Okay, sell it, Mike. What do you like?
Okay.
I'm gonna play the game, just not.
No, but here is the issue. There are two
Yes.
open world games that Savon said he wanted to play first before he played these games. Tell them what they were, Savon.
Oh, I'll probably mess around with that new Far Cry, or maybe some of that new Assassin's Creed.
Why?
All right, can I
Really?
can I say why, or am I gonna
No.
get jumped on?
Yeah.
You're gonna
I mean,
get jumped on,
both.
but you should say why.
One, I actually played the first Horizon game, a decent bit of it, and I own that game, by the way, Mike. I got it, like,
I believe
I don't
you.
know. But it just didn't engage me, and I had trouble getting into it. It wasn't bad. It was like, oh, this looks like a really well put together game. It's not holding my interest. There were other things I wanted to play more, and so I just never played it.
Did you make it to like the open world part?
Yeah, I made it past
'Cause
like
the
the whole
intros in
epilogue, the
both games are
prologue where
great.
she grows up, all that. I did that.
Yeah, the prologues are boring, but you
Yeah, I
gotta
did all
get
that.
into the actual open. All right, continue.
I got into
Go ahead.
that.
I'll let you. All right.
Stopped playing. It was having trouble keep holding my attention. I stopped playing it, but I recognized that it was a good game. I'm never gonna play a sequel game unless I know like the meat and potatoes of the story, because I'm someone who I get FOMO when I play a sequel and there's like references to the first that I don't get. That really so that itself is a barrier to me playing this game.
I think that's fair. I think this game is.
But just watch the story recap. That's what I
Okay.
did.
But like this game is clearly building off the first one. I mean,
but I want those
picks up like
side
right
quests
where it
sure.
left
too.
off.
Yeah,
Okay,
like, I
you know,
want
the
the
side
side quests, side character. Like
Yeah.
I like to. I appreciate even that stuff in sequels.
So you want the 100 hours experience?
But
Is that
this
what
is
you're
a
saying?
Honestly,
perfect 100 hours
honestly.
game.
Yeah, but I want to.
And he
be
wants to
able to
start with a
build-
different game
I want to start with the first. I want to enjoy the entirety of the story, not just the second half, because that
by
was
not
really
playing
good.
by not playing the first
Yeah, I
game.
So
want to
can I
enjoy
say-
it by.
I
ahead.
didn't finish the first game.
Me neither.
Life got in the way.
It's long as
I
hell.
dropped it. Yeah. And then when I tried to pick it up again, I forgot the controls, and it was like way too hard
Yeah,
at the point in the game where I left off. So I never finished it, and I don't care because I know that this sequel it builds off of what they were already doing well in the first game, and that this is just going to be a much better experience. It's like they had the seeds of something, and now it's had time to blossom. It's kind of like God of War 2, right? Like you already know that the bones are good. And so like the story and stuff, I mean, it wasn't even like the greatest story in the first place, but I mean, for me, it was all about the gameplay on this one and just like the world and environment that they're in. So, all of that is going to be amped to 11 on the sequel, and especially because it's on PS5.
Brian. When I was a kid, I played the first God of War because I wanted to get God of War 2.
Are you talking
Like,
about God of War
what?
2, Brian, or
I'm
the
saying-
God of War
I'm just saying
Ragnarok
in-
coming up?
No, I'm talking about the original God
Yeah.
of War 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying
God of
that-
War
I'm-
1 is also great, but God of War 2, right? Is like
Yeah, it's infinitely
clearly
better.
yeah.
But yeah, so I get it. For me, the problem is that I do care. It's just that's just how I operate when it comes to stories and stuff.
But I
like to have
think
all the
if you
background.
can move past that, you particularly,
I'm not.
honestly, oh my God, it's
Just
why?
read a recap, man.
Just come on. What
Which
are you
I might
doing?
do that. Which I might do that. But also,
You are like cutting yourself off at the knees
I'm still
for
gonna
some
do it, but-
nonsense dogmatic rule based in nothing.
it's based in what I value in my entertainment. For me, I like to know all the stuff leading up. I don't want to watch a sequel and not see what came before. That's just how I
Assassin's
operate.
Creed.
I mean, what
But
else
just
are you
what-
playing on
but you-
PS5 right now? Like, what is the point of having
Nothing.
a PS5 if you're
that
not
is
playing
exactly
this game?
what right now Alan is like, yes. Because Alan literally had that point that you play only PS4 games. And I'm mad at you, and I used to say this to my kids because I love you. It's like, what are you doing here? Yeah, Wesley knows all about that. And
Send me your
I want to
console, man.
Can I thank you? Like Alan right now is literally losing his mind if he's listening to this. Can I talk about the game now and specifically why
it.
I think it's great for someone like
I
Savon?
played about an hour or two of it now.
I'm
I
not
know
even
it's
gonna.
good.
No, but why it's perfect for you and why playing
Okay.
those two Ubisoft games first is just like I just can't even wrap my head around it.
Is
Here
it
is the-
Ubisoft? Whoa.
I
What-
I thought it was
what?
Ubi.
Is it
Anyway,
Ubisoft? Ubisoft?
Maybe
I
that's
know-
how
I
they
have
pronounce
no
it in
idea.
Australia,
All
where Mike is
Savon,
from right now.
you and I'm going to tell you about yourself right now in a loving way. You love being in a game, right? Like you love
Yes.
being in that world and getting to make that world what you want. It's not so
Red
much
Dead.
just about following the main campaign. Exactly. It's like Red Dead. It's like I am my character. It's like a true role-playing experience, and the world is thorough enough for me to be able to live in that. I'm not even going to talk about graphics, but that's a huge part of it. Like, an amazing thing about Red Dead is, like, in any moment, you are in that world. So something someone said, I think it was Gamer Ranks, they said, I almost never used a mount. I walked everywhere because there was so much to live in this world. So that's just kind of the graphics and the design. It's amazing, and everything looks amazing. They up the traversal where it's like you can't just run straight anymore. You have to, like, be thoughtful of where you're going to climb over things. Now let's talk about the stuff in the world. I think this game is the only thing comparable to it in terms of how much there is to do. No, you're wrong, Wesley. So Wesley just put in our chat, I think there's a lot to see, not necessary to live in. You're absolutely wrong. I think one of the things people pointed out about this game is that it's only comparable to, I would say, maybe Red Dead 2, and then I think it's at the level of Witcher 3 in terms of side quests, things to do, like things that might have just been a passive like task in like a Far Cry game, like go here and kill people, climb that tower and liberate it. Each one of those things feels like it could have been a main quest in a game. Like yesterday, like I just found some random old world ruin, and it was like a legitimate 25-minute puzzle to get out of that. Like they've upped every single thing you can do in that game is meaningful and legit. There are no copy and paste tasks, and then obviously the main quest like take it up to a new level. So it's just that all the things you can do are on a level that are only comparable to two games I know you loved and you have spent lots of times in for, I think, a lot of those reasons.
That's cool. I was thinking more like Savon likes, cooking his steak by the fire in Red Dead, and just hanging out as a cowboy or
Yeah, I
walking
mean that
around,
too, but I think
there's
but
not really
and here,
that in this.
so there is not
a lot
that,
of
but
story.
what there is in this is an incredibly, and some people would say overly complex RPG system. There are 6 skill trees that are a lot, and you earn a lot of skill points. So there's a lot of different ways you can invest in your character: melee combat, range combat, hunting, or like trapping, like laying traps, stealth, all these different things you can really invest in Aloy in a way
I can't
that
wait.
there's clearly a lot of different ways you can approach the game. So there's that aspect of it.
Oh, I think Savon would like that, right? He loves like the
Savon
choose-
loves RPGs,
Yeah,
like being
choose your
able
own
to really
adventure,
craft your
get your
character,
character.
and not only that, there are, and again, some people say it's overly complicated. I mean, I think that's like an
It's
important.
not possible.
Yeah,
there are
that's an appeal for Savon,
there
though.
are so many weapons in this game, and like if you are really intentional with like scanning your enemy, figuring out what are they weak in at specific levels, or at specific parts of their body. Like I'm fighting these enemies, like I'm in a part of the game in the prologue where you have to clear out the specific type of machine from a valley so you can actually get into the open world part of the game. And all the animals, like they have these canisters on their back that are weak to acid. So if you know that and you do it intentionally, they die way easier. Do you want to know a game that a lot of people are kind of comping this to, Savon, and specifically with the interaction between abilities, weapons, and how niche all these animals are? Take a guess.
God. Niche the animals are?
Or the machines are.
Oh.
And how Monster
I don't
Hunter.
know. Oh, shit.
A lot of people are comping it to Monster Hunter
Oh.
in terms of like to be able to really like and the thing is
Monster
the
Hunter's
last
that
thing I'll
pressure.
say and what I'll say about how thorough this game is the design for the machines is so cool. They're giant robot dinosaurs, bro.
They're dope.
And it's not just
They're
like
so dope.
Jurassic Park. It's like if you really want to succeed in this game, especially at a high difficulty level, you need to like have a good understanding of all these different weapons, which can be challenging for some people, and some people criticize because they're like, this is way too much. You need to have a thoughtfully built out character, and again, some people are like, I don't want to have to constantly be thinking about which skills I'm developing and how they connect and what do I use them. And all of this is built on a beautiful world where it's like, I was trying to do this side quest, I was just walking because it's so beautiful, I saw this dungeon, I went in there, now there's a giant crazy ant monster that I'm gonna now spend like significant time on trying to fight. It's just like, it's so thorough so that when you're going to play like those half-baked Ubisoft games first, it hurts because those games are literally just copy and paste, bro. It's literally
Mike,
just go here and kill people.
Mike,
None of that has any of this.
Mike, I never doubted anything that y'all have said, and I believe every fiber of what y'all are saying. For me, this is entirely a narrative-based thing. This is 100%. Like, actually, look. I went to YouTube. I typed in Horizon
Did I not just do a good
Dawn.
job there? Did
No,
I
you did
not
a great,
do
you
it?
did a great job. Look, this is what I did. Look, I went, but you never had to convince me about playing the game. I already knew that was gonna be like that attention to detail and production value. But
You know, then just promise me you won't play the Ubisoft games.
No, this
Maybe
is what I did.
that's what's
I went to
killing
YouTube.
me.
I typed in Horizon Zero Dawn PC, all cutscenes, game, movie, 4K.
No,
FPS.
don't do that.
Nope.
Then you're not getting the. All right, go ahead.
Listen, that is 6 hours. So it's like basically like a long TV series, like a season of a show. I'll watch that as a movie, and if that gives me I think that'll be the closest thing to give me an appreciation of what I want to experience with the first game before I feel comfortable diving into the second.
I don't know. Just watching, but with cutscenes, you're missing all the connecting pieces. You need someone to at least kind of give you the context.
But that's there is
an hour and a half long recap video on YouTube that goes over every single side quest, every single main campaign.
But I want to see the movie. I'm gonna watch the cutscene. I want to see the movie.
But
you know what I'm saying?
I just feel like you're doing such a disservice to yourself.
How? Not the game. The first one.
No, but I'm saying I'm just the core of that argument. Like, just by not playing this game because you didn't finish the first one is such a shame. Because this is so perfect for you.
Now he's like, I'll watch it.
I don't think
yes.
so.
Okay.
Okay.
And he's considering
So
maybe
were
he'll just play the second one.
So before this talk, were you going to actually play the first one in order to get to the second one? Was your plan?
Those were my options. My options are either
I think
watch
that would
a
have been
movie
a grave mistake.
And I already knew it. I had trouble playing through the game in the first place, so I knew that wasn't going to happen.
A lot of people felt that way about Last of Us Part 2, which
but that's the reason I didn't play Last of Us Part 2 is because I never finished
I know,
the first
but
one.
that game is like so
Same deal. Like I know it's annoying to y'all, but like I'm consistent with that. I wouldn't watch Avengers 2 if I didn't see all the Marvel movies leading up.
No, but that's a movie, bro.
But it's the same. It's the same.
This
premise,
is like
though.
a game you can put 100 hours in on stuff
know.
not connected to the main story too.
I know. That's why I'm really loyal to game series.
Is it possible that given that Savon didn't necessarily get held his attention by the first one, that he's not going to like the second one?
No, the intro. I feel like now that you understand what the endpoint of this game is, like you could get, because like even with me, I'm like, yo, this is a long intro. There's a prologue, and then there's still like an intermediary step before you're really released into the world. It's like White Orchard in the Witcher. You spend a good amount of time in White Orchard in this game, or the Plateau in Zelda.
Plateau.
No,
I just did the shuttle, Mike. I just finished that.
No,
nice.
Wes, what I struggled with the first game, I know why I had trouble getting through it. It was one because it had trouble holding my attention, but also I was playing a lot of other games at the time that were of a similar genre, and so that one just didn't hold my attention as well.
There hasn't been,
wasn't that when around the time God of War came out? Like I think those two games were around the same time.
Oh yeah, maybe.
It also came out around the same time as Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, like there was a lot.
It couldn't hold a candle to.
Yeah, there was a lot of other games that just were holding my attention more. That's not a knock on Zero Dawn. But if I can feel, I'll watch a movie of the story for the first game. That will make me comfortable playing the sequel.
There's
I
15
really,
recap would not make me comfortable.
No. And for me, even me, I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch the 30-minute one, which for me was like a big deal. Like I even was not about to watch the 90-minute
Did that help?
recap.
They did a good recap in the beginning of the
No,
the
but
game.
like you want to know the actual, not just the specific like story points. Like I think
All right, send me
Savon
that
wants
video
to
because I need to
understand.
catch up. You know my
Yeah,
memory,
some of them
it's
are bad,
crap.
but anyway, I really think Savon, this will be the next Witcher Red Dead for you if
I
you
believe
play
you.
it.
I believe
I really.
you.
But wha-
I never doubted you.
He's just not gonna play
I
it
feel
till
like
There's a
you're being
big
gaslit right
2025.
now.
Yeah, till 2025. That's
I
what's
never say
Savon
nothing
plays.
Just
bad
don't
about the
play
game.
Just don't play Far Cry or Assassin's Creed. If you're gonna play one of those games,
right.
play this.
All right, I'll watch the Horizon Zero Dawn movie before I'll play those games.
All right, I
I'll
feel
get
like
the
that's
movie.
a small concession. I'll take
Yeah.
that as a
Yeah.
win today.
This should be a win for you, Mike.
Yeah.
It's not. You act like I'm hating on the game. I just want to know the story before I play the new one, and
All
I
right, no, that's
particularly get
reasonable.
overly
If
invested.
you will make
so
it,
I
if
wanna
you
know
will make
everything.
it, so it sounds like you're gonna make an effort to understand the story, which seems like a good first step.
I mean,
All right,
I
so
want
we're
to.
gonna
That's the only thing
revisit
stopping
this.
me.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Then
Just
fine. I think I
incremental
came in looking for the
improvements.
moon. I'm gonna settle for the upper atmosphere.
You barely did anything.
Okay.
That was a well-crafted argument and discussion of the strengths of this game relative to my friend. I feel like that was I did a lot there.
There was no argument.
Mike, Mike in the game. I'm struggling with the combat with my arrows. Like I keep getting like three damage, 7 damage.
Yeah, well, you have
you
to
know?
hit the
And
machines in the
yeah,
weak
and
area.
then you get, like,
That's
26
the thing. It's
damage
like there's
and whatever,
yeah,
but-
it's like you have to be thoughtful, but on top of that, like the actual combat is so smooth that it's like this intersection of big brain and big brawn. Like I have to like know how to move and aim and do all that, but I also have to know what I'm fighting and how to fight
Yeah.
it.
No, that first, but I was struggling with that.
Oh,
first
and
boss.
and there's awesome drips of on. Like there's all these cool like different armors that you can upgrade.
There's a black dude in the beginning. You know,
Oh my
co-player.
God.
Savon's always looking for black
Jeez.
dudes in the movies.
It's
or in
Lance
the-
wrong. There's a
Reddick.
black dude.
Lance
Because you're
Reddick.
not-
Let's put
Wait,
some
what?
respect on Lance Reddick's a major character in the game.
Oh my god.
I
Okay.
should have
Get
led
it.
with that.
You're gonna have to get it.
Jesus.
I
It's
wasn't being
just like,
racist. Savon says he likes to see black dudes in the game.
And look, what's gonna happen
do.
in 2
I mean,
years?
Lance
I'm gonna
Reddick is
complain.
fire,
I'm gonna
so.
complain that Savon is only playing this game, but you know what? That'll be a win.
I'm just saying, you acting like I went and hated on the game and said it was trash.
No, but by saying you're gonna, it's like saying like I'm not gonna watch Breaking Bad until I watch like NCIS New Orleans in entirety.
No, it's like saying I wouldn't watch Better Call Saul until I've seen Breaking Bad, which to me is a valid.
yeah, but you
It
said you're
is.
gonna go
Thought
watch
process.
NCIS
Yeah, but if you're
first.
gonna go watch something else, like
Yeah.
Oh, you're
just
talking about
do the
whatever.
thing that is impeding.
the main
you
thing
from
disappointing
getting to
me was the Ubisoft thing, Savon. I got
Okay.
that was.
I just
the
want to
main thing.
experience Horizon Forbidden West at its full potential, and to me, full potential means
You're
knowing the
letting. What do
story
they say?
before.
Like the principle me and Wesley had used to say, "Don't let great be the enemy of good."
Generally, I agree.
You're
When
let-
it
you're
comes to
letting-
how
don't
I
let
consume content. No.
This show is sponsored by Guerrilla Games and is definitely not sponsored by Ubisoft. Let's move on.
God.
Horizon Forbidden West. I'm excited to play it. I'm only a couple hours in. Mike, it sounds like you're quite a bit further in.
Probably
How
like
much
5
epilogue?
hours.
5 hours. Okay, so I got a ways to go before I can actually get.
I'm
on my
still
own.
so in that little area. I'm like in White Orchard or the Plateau, which is where you just got to. Like there were like legit side
Still a
quests and
lot of things,
dungeons
okay.
and stuff to, and that's
Oh, okay.
before it actually releases you into the open world. So this is
'Cause
like
my main-
leveling up, learning the last mechanics before you're on your own.
Oh, that's interesting. Because my main concern right now is it's very linear. It's very Last of Us. Like you have to go to this place and then this place and this place.
Yeah, no, well,
you don't
yeah,
get rewarded
that
by veering off
that
that
was
track
the
at all.
prologue. Now
Yeah.
you're in like the interlude they call it, and then it's the
Alright.
full game. So because that's the
Exciting.
downside, and that's I think when you create a really robust game with a lot of different systems, you need to spin people up,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
to do that in
Yeah.
a way that isn't
100%.
just throwing shit at you. You have to build story
Bleep.
into it, and they're doing a good job with it. So
Great. Oh, I'm excited.
How long is the main story? Do you know?
People said 60
let's
hours.
see. No,
Damn.
6. I don't think the
Damn.
campaign. How long is? It's definitely a game to 100%. It would be It says around 40 hours just to do the campaign, really. But like this could easily be a 100-hour game.
I think so. All right. Whew. Got it. We got our juices flowing. Savon, you want to talk about Cyberpunk?
Did you play it last night?
Yeah, I was playing it. What
All
I'll
right, tell us
briefly
what
say.
happened. Yeah.
So
People
so
don't
for
know.
people who don't know, Cyberpunk had a really big update that came out. They released the next gen version of the game. The next gen version just came with some a lot of just major quality of life things, a lot of graphical improvements, technical fixes. They added some new features, reworked the driving system, reworked like AI combat.
Is it true they took Keanu out of the game?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
No, they did
Oh,
not.
you were making a funny.
Yeah.
No, he's very much still in the game.
Did y'all see that thing where like it was an interview with him and he was like, "Oh no, I've never played that game."
Of course
Yeah, I
not.
mean, did he play
Of course
games?
not. Yeah.
No,
It's
but
like-
it was just like for them to have sacrificed so much in that game to ham fist him, and he's like, "I don't know, no."
Yeah. But they released the update and it was a free update. Or the free upgrade, so I got my PS4 version of Cyberpunk turned into the PS5 version. And so far, I haven't played it too much, but so far the game just handles and plays a lot better. There's clearly just it's a much prettier game and it was already a beautiful game. So it definitely fixed a lot of just technical issues. They definitely revamped a lot of the combat and it's a lot more challenging and dynamic and people respond better. The biggest issue I had with the game, though, was more so narrative based, and I don't think that any patches are going to fix that. But the biggest thing I'm really waiting for is there's still no new game plus. That was probably the biggest thing hurting the game. You can kind of live with the narrative issues that the game has because it's still really fun to play once you accept that, just don't get attached to your character, basically. So once you kind of move beyond that, the game is still amazing to play in terms of missions, set pieces, dialogue, all that. The problem is that by the time your character becomes this awesome badass with all these cool upgrades and things you can do, there's nothing left to do. And so right now I have a game where I haven't done a new game playthrough yet, and I don't know if I plan on it. I'm just using my current like in-game guy. So it's still super fun to play, very beautiful to look at, fun to enjoy. But by the time you become a badass, generally you've completed all the really dope stuff in the game where you would have liked to be a badass. So a new game plus is really, I think, what's stopping this game from being something I played through and truly hold in high regard. But it's a huge step in the right direction, and I'm still having fun playing it.
I think one thing about like some of the issues with the game, and I've never played it, is that it's not only was technically a mess, it was missing like core features, and those are things they're adding. So I think that's kind of weird to people. Like you can now buy house or apartments in the game.
Yep.
Like they upped like how people respond to you. Like if you point guns at people on the street, like they'll run away or they'll like shoot back at you, or they're like adding a bit to the police system. Like there were like core parts of the game that were missing because it was so rushed that they're adding in now, which is I think kind of weird for a lot of people. Like it almost feels like a live service game where it's getting like Starfield or whatever that game is called, Star
GTA
Citizen,
5.
where it's no, it's not. It's the opposite of Grand Theft Auto, where that comes a fully fleshed out world. This they're adding onto it slowly. I don't think I'm even going to play this version. I think I'll wait until maybe another year for like 2.0, and then maybe it'll be playable.
Pass.
You're never going to play it?
No.
Honestly, what I would say about the state of the game now is that if y'all were to play it now, considering y'all never played it before, you would enjoy it. Like the new game plus thing hurts me because I've already made like a character I've put a lot of energy and time into. And so I'm not interested in starting over. Like that's just not fun to me right now. But for y'all having never experienced it, knowing what they've improved and y'all kind of going in with a blank slate to begin with, especially if you got it like discount, this would be a fun game to play. You'd still get a lot of time and a lot of fun out of it. Like I don't doubt that y'all will still have a blast.
That's probably why they're doing the free trial, huh?
Yeah. So like, but real talk, like if you could get this game on sale for like $20-$30, 100% I'd say go for it. You would have fun. Like there's still core issues with the game, but it is not a unfun game to play. Like don't get it twisted. You will have fun playing it.
Interesting.
Like
so it sounds like you just got to know why you're playing it. You're not in it for Keanu. You're not in it for the main storyline or anything like that. It's really just about the experience,
the gameplay and the experience. Like that's what's bringing me in. But like I said, for y'all, I think you'd still enjoy it. Like I'd tell somebody now, play this game. It still
Will
has
Katz.
some warts
That's
on it.
quite
but
a departure from
Yeah.
your.
Yeah. So Will Katz should play it.
I've made peace with the narrative. I mean, you just got to kind of go in now knowing, hey, there's some big narrative issues with the game, but
I don't
you know,
wanna- why do I want to sink 40 hours or 20 hours into a game where I know it's going to be just kind of like helter skelter? Like,
Because it's
also,
fun.
I don't, maybe, I guess, but like I could play games where it's fun and you get good narrative.
also like it's
But why are these drug dealers doing this?
also it's more of a like
also
when
you
I
only
say
get
that when I
one
say that
time
Wes,
to make a first impression, right? You only,
when I say
you
that
only
Wes,
once. Go ahead.
I don't know that there's actually that many games out there that accomplish both at a high level. Like a lot of times you're only going to get one or the other. Like
Yeah.
the story is really well fleshed out and thought through and the acting is great, or the gameplay is really incredible. There's
Not Horizon.
that
Also, it's not
top
a
tier
bad
level
story.
is very narrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, also, I want to be clear. It's not a bad story. I just think that it was a mistake with how they, like, Arthur dies in Red Dead, and that doesn't take away from the game. But
Spoiler
they
alert,
don't
I haven't
sell
finished
it.
that yet.
Whatever. That game. Came,
3-year spoiler alert.
No, man. Like, we know, Arthur dies, but that doesn't take away from the game because he's his own character. I think Cyberpunk, they make you think it's your own character, and so that was the disconnect. But whatever, you would still have fun playing it. I think
Alright.
you'd like it. Wes, the game is
Fair enough.
actually you'd rock
I'm
it.
interested why Wes is like so against it entirely.
I think it's mostly because you guys have said how bad it was in the beginning, and so to now
but-
have to change all that and like to be like, well, like at the end of it, like you may not be happy with how the story went anyways, and there's still technical glitches in it. It's like there's too many.
No, but
other
I
good
do.
games
Savon
that,
is
like,
doing a good job kind
Yeah.
of delineating the two.
yeah,
There's
and-
specific things that are bad, and those
but there's
things
limited time.
vary
Like,
to what people
like
care
time
about.
time is the resource, right? That's limiting factor here. So like I don't know that I want to invest in a game that's half baked still or 3/4 baked. Like give me the Horizon game.
We need
It's
we
gonna be
need to
good.
rate it. We need to rate games on like the dad scale.
Yeah.
But I mean that's always
Worth
true,
ignoring
right? Like,
your baby for it
if
or not?
yeah, but I mean even when I had more time, I sunk a lot of time into Apex. It's fun. It's a game that I can get into. I'm like moderately decent at it now. I'm good at it, Mike. Good.
Would you? Is he Savon? Be
Why
honest.
are you doing this to me?
Oh, that's a no.
I think
Yeah,
Wes,
that's a no right there.
I think Wes is a very capable Apex player.
Grade A.
I think
effort.
I think Wes good at the game.
Is he a starting five
No.
material?
No, for sure not. But I'm good.
Wes isn't bad at Apex.
Is he leading the second streak?
Savon is running for office right now.
No, that's just such, I don't know. That's just such a because that's just like I don't know. I'm good depending on who I'm playing with. Like it depends on who you asking.
Well,
shit.
you know, Wesley, I'd hope so. You played the game for like
Wes,
3 years.
Wes,
Yes.
you're good at Apex Legends.
I am good at Apex Legends. I have a lot of
You
confidence in
are
that
good
game.
at bringing
That's
up
All right.
Apex
Mike.
Legends.
I mean, I make mistakes still. I'm not gonna say I don't.
I'm like Charlemagne, the god of the nerd
Anyways,
world.
let's move on. Cyberpunk 2077 1.5. Is that the update that just came out?
Yeah, 1.5.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you already have the game, go download it. Savon says lots of big improvements technically, and perhaps if you haven't tried it and you've been interested, if you can find it on sale, try it out. That seems to be the big takeaway. I
Yep.
still don't think I'm gonna play it. Brian, would you?
You
be
know-
into
you know
it?
what?
Would you get it?
I think
Yes.
it's something
Yeah,
Brian
definitely.
might like.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would enjoy it. You would play it. and
I'd
you'd
be
have
into
fun.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Brian
Let's talk
knows
about the
how to
last one.
enjoy things, Wesley. And not everything needs to be like end of
Yeah.
the world stakes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Brian knows how to
yeah.
vibe.
There are other ways to enjoy a video game. They're made for more things than just telling stories.
Yes.
Wes.
Yes.
Otherwise,
yes.
I just
yes.
watch movies.
Yeah.
All of this
Yeah.
to say, like, there's like, if you consider Cyberpunk like a good game now, like this year is looking to be so much better for games than last year. Like, I've already played in 2022
It Takes Two, guys.
multiple
Game of the year.
games that would have been my favorite game last year. One of them I'm about to talk about now.
Talk about it.
Is another thing Savon
But you only
deeply
got
broke
10
my
minutes.
heart with.
You don't get 15 minutes.
That's fine.
Okay.
There's not that much to talk about. Is Sifu, which y'all actually talked about on the show before that I wasn't on, and then somehow I was the only one that played the game, I believe.
I ended
that
up buying
correct?
another game, so it took up my time.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Loved it. I really liked it. I really, really enjoyed Sifu, and I beat it, which I don't beat a lot of games, especially when they're hard. I don't know if it's a brawler or fighter, so it doesn't really matter. It is a kung fu game. It is a kung fu roguelike game. The premise of the story is like your dad was killed by this gang. Like your dad ran a kung fu studio. It's like the intro is this amazing, like very, I don't know, kung fu filmmakers, but it's clearly very inspired by that in multiple different ways. So your whole journey in this game is you have to kill the 5 people that were part of that gang. So you start on level 1, that's one of the gang leaders. So every time you die in the game, and this is the roguelike aspect of it, you get a little bit older. So you need to beat all 5 bosses before you turn age 70. And every time you beat a level, you get a lock in that age. So like if I finish level 1 at 22, I get to start level 2 at 22 as many times as I want. So the whole thing is you want to minimize death so you can make it to the end of the game and not have to, like, I beat the last boss at age 70. So if I died at any point, it would have been the end of the game for me. The game is super, super very difficult. It is incredibly unforgiving, and it very much requires like attention. And what's beautiful about it is very meta, because the whole game is the journey of your character getting older, mastering kung fu. As you're doing that, you're unlocking new abilities for the character, things like that. So as the character is growing, so are you. So by the end of the game, when you're older and you've really kind of mastered the combat in the game, you feel kind of connected to your character in that journey. And it just gave me such a stupid look. Right off. The combat, it's very like combo driven, and it's like all the moves connect to each other, and you need to be very thoughtful of how you kind of in each moment, where you are moving around, not getting surrounded. What do I do to combat each character? So it's very hard. It is not a button smashing game. If you button smash, you're not going to make it through level 1.
Well,
and it's just, it's no, yeah. That's why I don't think it would be for you. I don't think it would. Yeah, I don't think
you a button masher.
No, it is not. I think you would get. But I'm not someone who likes hard games. I've never finished a From Software game. I've started 4 of them, like Soulsborns, and I've never finished a single one. And by the end of this one, you feel like a sense of pride in your ability to like really dominate situations. And then when you go back to level 1, and you really just feel like John Wick, and it's just like that level of like intensity. That's the gameplay. It is dripping in style. Like, it is very stylized. Like, visually, it is not like realistic. Like, scenes change all the time. Like, they create these amazing set pieces. Not really set pieces, but like amazing sets. If you like old kung fu movies, so this would probably be like a Brian thing. Like, I definitely think it's for you. Like, it has like a very much like a scene where it's just like it's in like a normal kind of like third person view, and then it jumps to like a second, like you go into a hallway with like 20 enemies. Yeah, like the old boy thing. I think that's what it's been compared to. Like all of, and like having, because it's challenging, like every move you do is intentional, right? So when things land, it's not just I hit a bunch of random buttons and like destroyed that guy. It's that I went in with this approach, with this combo, and it worked. And it's so satisfying that like when things work, like you're just like, I would be sitting here by myself just like, ooh, like just like the whole time. And especially like there's tons of weapons, and like each weapon has its own like move set and combo set. Like when you get like steel pipes, it's just like it's so good and intentional, and it's really short. It's only those 5 levels, but because it's challenging and because it requires perfection, because if I use all my lives at level 1, I'm on level 2 and I'm age 70, so I have to, even when I beat level 1, I still went back and played it about 10 times to get out of it as young as possible. So it very much requires kind of the thoughtful, repetitive nature, the wax on, wax off of Kung Fu. I think like that was a comparison Gamer Ranks made a lot, was like it very much kind of mirrors the journey of becoming a kung fu master. So it's so meta. It's
Mr.
so
Miyagi
beautiful.
didn't teach kung fu, just so we're clear.
He didn't?
No.
Karate.
Oh, anyway.
Karate, Jerry. Karate.
But I've only seen that movie one time, a long time ago.
Right.
But all of that to say, it's short. It's a cheap game. It's very much about like that journey and that experience, and then you beat it, and you can go back and master things. Like I'm potentially interested in doing like a 0 death run, like getting through the whole game at age 20. It's so worth a try. It is so genuinely unique. I don't think there's any game remotely close to it in its structure, but also just in how combat is such a core part of it, with it being so incredibly challenging. Highly recommend, even if you're not into it right now, like get it on sale. Savon refuses to play it because it's PvE, not PvP, which broke my heart because again, I thought I was making.
Wait, for the
I was
non-gamers, what does that mean?
PvE is player versus enemy, me versus the computer. And PvP is player versus player. So I had described this game to Savon, and it made me. I was genuinely excited that he was so excited about it. Everything I described, Savon was super into. And then as soon as he found out that I can't actually like flex on another human being, just not interested at all.
I was. We were
He's
in
just
game
trying to
chat.
stun people.
We were in game chat when Savon heard this, and he was like, "Oh, absolutely not." That's like what came out of his mouth.
Which is just like heartbreaking to me because I was like, oh my God, it's this easy? Like he's just that into it? Like he's going to play another game and then just like, nope. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, man, that's right. It's tough.
Which, you know what? And I had independent show notes of litigating that, but I'm going to take my win on Horizon and I'll let you live on Sifu today.
Fair enough.
Horizon, you just argued with yourself.
No, I didn't. No, Savon is gaslighting me on this show right now.
No, you're just being
You didn't
crazy,
know
Mike.
about the Monster Hunter.
Brian,
Got him.
are you interested in getting this game?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think I was the one that brought it up
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
that episode.
I think so.
And I think even though it's PvE, I believe like a key component of the game is that the way that the fighting is built, and you have to master the combos as well as your reactions to the.
It's so hard that I don't
the
see
enemy AI. Yeah, it's produced in a way that it's like. I mean, you might as well be playing against another human player, right? They're not just like they're not just ragdolls that you're gonna bash in and move through quickly. You gotta master the system.
And especially some of the bosses and like even sub bosses are like the AI is just written very intelligently, so they're worthy adversaries. Savon just needs the pride of destroying.
No, it's
somebody.
100% a pride thing. It's like, dude, I came.
So
up
you
playing
won't
fighting
play
that
one
ego
of the
boost.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
you'll
won't play
learn,
one of
my
the best open world games ever, and we'll play the great value version because of
Great.
some weird dogmatic. Yeah, and then same thing with this.
Savon, you will learn once you mature into a 70-year-old kung fu master, a Sifu, if you will. That pride comes from within, my friend.
I'm not
it's
satisfied
independent.
internally unless I am beating another person. That is where I get my satisfaction.
Unless they're as
I came
miserable
up-
as possible.
We came up playing Street Fighter, Tekken, Soul Calibur, Def Jam, Fight for New York. In the, us in the room in the summertime as kids going at it, talking trash. Loser, give up the sticks. We really did this, and that's drilled into me. So just
You want
beating on
someone
a
to break a
computer-
TV.
No, I want somebody like just know, hey, bro, take your L, keep it moving. And if I take my L, it's like, all right, bet I gotta come back stronger. That's just how me and my brother and friends grew up, and that's how I'm going down. You dig? Like,
I think to me, Sifu sounds like you go to the mountaintop, and then when you come back, you can still beast on those people in other games, but you'll be that much better at it.
I'll get Sifu like if it's on sale or something, but
Well, will you? I'll take that as a win.
But it's a hard, but like. It's just hard for me to get invested into like a combat system if I don't get to use against other humans.
But it's still so satisfying
I
because
believe
like
you.
John Wick, like if it was just him versus one person the whole time, or in kung fu movies, it's not going to hit the same. It's like you need to be able to tear through this club, like just destroying people.
I feel you. I mean, you're not wrong. It's just we derive pleasure from
even if you
different
don't
things.
beat it, it's like this is a
Different
game
strokes for different
everybody
folks.
should experience just because it's so genuinely unique.
I believe you.
I do
I
think
hate
it's
you.
like in
I
a
hate
class.
you so much, bro.
I don't
knows
disagree
how
with
to
you.
rile me up.
Everything
Like,
you're saying
literally
is right,
no
though.
other.
The game looks. I've watched gameplay. The game looks beautiful, deep. The combat looks fire.
Stop saying this.
I
Stop
just want to
saying
beat
this.
other humans. That's all. I'll still probably play it.
It is-
But
it is
that's gonna put
great.
but that's a big knock for me. I'll still probably play it, but like
I have said this on the
hurts.
show before, and I'm going to say it again right now. I, like Savon, consider myself an atheist, but
damn, why you put me on blast? maybe
But-
I'm Muslim.
what, are
now.
you ashamed of it? Oh, brother Savon, sorry.
Savon X.
I don't. It is impossible that there is not some type of intelligent design or some puppet master because Savon has clearly been so finely tuned and placed on this world to specifically aggravate me that it's just no possibility that it's just random. Oh, and we just happened to work together and became friends. Like, no, there is some larger plan at work here. I don't know what I'm being tested for. Maybe it's my own like kung fu journey and like patience. God damn it, bro.
Really, he's been your Sifu this whole time.
Yeah.
I wish you the best
He's
of
like,
luck.
snatch the pebble from my hand.
Yeah, but Sifu looks dope.
But I won't play it.
Okay.
That's also why I don't. This is also why I don't think you're gonna enjoy Gran Turismo, because a huge part of Gran Turismo is just can you beat yourself and can you
No.
Yes.
Yeah, but
100%.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
PvE.
No,
PvE.
I agree with
Yeah.
you. But I just care about beating people up more than I care about winning races. That's just like purely just where I place my value.
That's why
No,
I'm
but
saying
he's
I don't-
talking about like
That's why I don't think you're gonna enjoy Gran Turismo as much.
What you mean?
But the
'Cause-
gameplay is different. I think that's what Savon's saying.
Yeah, for me, it's just like it's fighting games in particular. Everything else I can enjoy casually and chill or whatever.
And
but
this is not a game to enjoy casually. This is a sweaty game.
yeah, like if I'm sweating,
the-
I need to
the
be
hunched
sweating
forward
against
in
people.
your
This is
basically.
this
Like,
is
if I'm-
absolutely leading.
Yeah, like if I'm leaning forward in my seat, I need to be busting another human being's ass if I'm leaning forward. I can't be leaning forward fighting the computer. If I'm out here sweating and really getting mad, I need to be knowing there's somebody else in the country. Like, damn it.
But it's about the challenge. It's like the same thing with
Yeah.
like Dark Souls games. It's like
Yeah.
there's a certain challenge and you
don't play
feel
Dark
like
Souls.
pride having accomplished it. No, but I'm just saying, like, I think there is a specific merit to difficult single player games
Oh, of
that
course.
that is similar
Oh.
to what you're talking about, which
yeah.
is overcoming a challenge, whether it's a person or a very difficult computer. And I think I think you would enjoy this again.
I love watching people play Dark Souls. Like, I hate playing it. God,
No, but I
would never
think you
play
would.
it, but I
You
love watching
again.
it.
It's like these two games you would like,
Mike is like
and you're
red at the
not
face.
playing them for stupid reasons.
All right. Well,
Yo.
I gotta accomplish some lunch, guys. I am starving. So let's end this episode here. I think we've convinced Savon of something. I'm not sure what it is, but I think we've
It
convinced
feels
him of
like there's a
something.
breakthrough.
The only action step is that I'll try and maybe watch this Horizon Zero Dawn movie on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
You
No,
will
do it,
try
then
and
you'll jump
maybe.
in. Well, and if you do play it, I
See
mean,
how
then
Wesley's
we can talk-
encouraging, such a better
we,
teacher.
we
than
can
I
talk
was.
about this on the show, right? Once we get more into Horizon Forbidden West. I'm ready for how this game is gonna unfold.
Yeah, Wesley's
so.
just trying to get off this so he can go play the game and ignore his child more.
100%. It's a 4-day weekend, guys.
it's for
I'm
real
spending
shit.
it with y'all instead of with Aloy. All right. Let's wrap it there. At @confidently_pod. Instagram. Savon's running the account. I'm checking in every now and then. So if you
I didn't
message,
post that Harlequin.
We apologize for
put
anyone
that on
that.
Savon.
Hey, hold on now.
Yeah. Wesley.
Bonk.
I caught so much flack. I caught so much flack for that. I didn't realize we were
Big
still living
bonk.
in
I mean, I was like,
puritanical,
hey, yo.
puritanical 1600s.
Wes still thinks it's
No,
about
it's-
puritanism.
it's-
It's about
it-
sexualizing lesbians, man.
Plymouth
and women,
Rock.
dude.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.
Like foolish, Wes.
The same guy
How does
that
Jen
doesn't let us.
Tran
The
approve of
same
this?
guy that doesn't let us curse on the show just posted like straight up
Well,
hentai.
that's
on
not
the
working.
goddamn-
Jesus,
on
that's
the
not
page.
working at all.
Yeah, that's not working.
Ah,
Sorry,
we're pretty
DK.
good.
No, you
Yeah,
haven't.
sorry. Well, I'm
I've
worked
been
up
alright.
today. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'll try not to upset Mike before I show.
Yeah, Wesley. If I won't, I promise not to curse. If you promise not to horny post on the show page anymore.
Yeah. You're like thirst trapping yourself on that.
Yeah, put that on the close friends. That's close friends content. Do we have to do anything special with the thing after
No
this?
words. Do you have to do anything special? No. We're using
Oh,
for
are we
friends at
done?
home. We're recording on a different platform today, so we're trying to work out the kinks. But anyways, yeah, leave us reviews. Tell your friends about our show though. Like we got to get these numbers up. More people need to hear this amazing, chemistry. The chemistry that we have here between the four of us. Mike, it's good to have you back though. We didn't have you for a couple episodes ago. So yeah, enjoy it, friends.
My
We're
presence
out.
is a present.
Good God.
What
This man
T-shirt
outta
and
here.
coffee mug did you get that off?
I think that was a Kanye line.